Why is it so quiet? Why is it
Bro,
so quiet?
I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Okay, so uh hello. This is a interview with my boy Echo. Uh yeah, we thought this would be like a cool thing to do, just to have you guys get to know us better. Cuz we're doing kind of two interviews like one after another. So, to start off, just how are you? How are you doing right now?
I'm doing fine. I am a little bit. Well, I actually watched a show in one sitting, and it was a really sad show. So I was sad for like the first half of the day.
Mm. What
I
was it?
wa
What was it?
Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I watched. I,
Cyberpunk?
I don't know if you've heard of it. It's an
I haven't heard of
animated.
cyberpunk in a minute.
It's an anime. It's like a very short one, 10 episodes and like 20-minute episode. 20-minute episodes. They're very. It's very short. I watched it in one sitting, and it broke me. It broke me.
Mm. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good too. Uh, I just got back from a visit to my hometown that I did for like 3 weeks. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna get straight into the questions. All right.
All right.
So for the first couple questions, I want to go all the way back to like 2023, and
Oh.
the way I discovered you was through your collaborations with Seth Callies. Um, and I just want to know what that experience was like, uh, you know, collaborating with Seth Callies, and because I've tried to do that and I couldn't do it. I just want to know how that went for you.
It went quite smoothly, actually. He's a great guy. I just reached out to him because I was searching for a metal vocalist for this small music project I had, and yeah, it ended up being really smooth. He was like delighted to do the vocals for this song. So
Yeah, because like I remember those songs that you did; they were really like Linkin Park inspired, and he was supposed to be like the Chester guy. Uh,
one of them was Linkin Park inspired, but one was just him doing something on a metal instrumental. But yeah, Echoes was the Linkin Park one, and that's the first song I ever did vocals on too.
yeah, I feel like I don't remember 100%, but I feel like your name wasn't Echo at one point.
It was Echo River.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I
Wait, oh
I
my
had to
god.
I had to shorten that up a bit.
Yeah, okay. So Echo River, that's another thing that I kind of want to talk about. This is kind of moving away, but like the whole metal to rap thing. Of course, I had my own reasons for doing it, but like what was your reasons for doing the switch from metal to rap?
Well, I rapped better than I sang, so that's one thing, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
but also, I kind of grew out of just being a metalhead exclusively, and I started branching out to other genres. Rap being one that caught me the most.
Yeah. But like what was like the main thing that made you want to switch what you were doing? Cuz like, you know,
I wasn't particularly good at metal, I thought, and since I was mostly doing rapping, like inspired by Mike Shinoda, I was thinking maybe I just start making rap music and do what I do best. I
yeah,
guess.
so you like started the switch happened in like 2024, right? And then you released
Yeah,
Intervention in like the first day of 2025.
yeah, something like that, or the third of 2025, but basically the first day.
Yeah, so like with Intervention, what kind of, cuz I know, you said that you wanted to switch to rap, and it just kind of felt like a better fit for the things that you're already doing in metal, but like with Intervention, what made you want to do that particular style of rap? What made you want to go with that kind of concept? Because the concept is kind of weird. It's like underground artists get lost in the depths of Finland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
What made you want to go with that?
well, Mainly like, well, I was into 21 Savage and stuff. Then I feel like he used to be like one of my favorite rappers at that very moment. So I took a lot of 21 Savage type beats and rapped over those, which is the reason
Yeah,
why that has that style.
yeah.
Then
Like
for the
the Just Dance stuff, bro. Just Dan, so reliable, so reliable. Anyway,
uh
keep going, keep going. I'm sorry.
the hold on, someone is no, okay, I'm not gonna interrupt myself. The concept was, well, it was originally supposed to be quite comedic, but it turned serious halfway through.
Like
It,
how?
I,
Like in what way?
huh?
In what
I
way?
mean, I mean, like in the first one, you could tell it's like very. It sounds like satire, like the first radio transmission.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because like I remember you released that for like promo, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be kind of unserious. But then the album actually came out, and I was like, what are you doing, man? You got to make up your mind.
Oh yeah,
You got to
yeah.
make up your mind on what you're doing, bro.
Intervention, very, very rough album.
Well, yeah, I can totally tell that, and I feel like anybody that's listening to your music can totally tell because you spent your time making a revision of Intervention after it already came out, like 3 months after it came out.
Yeah, admittedly, some of the Redux tracks actually kind of took away the special part of those tracks. I mean, okay, Why, in my opinion, is the best Redux track, and I think that that made the song way better. But for example, Talking to You, I removed my background vocals and I removed that entire section where I'm like, type, like it's
Yeah.
removed that part of the song that I thought sounded a little cool, and I don't know what I was thinking. So in some cases, it was almost like a downgrade, except that I guess the bars that I thought sounded the shit were improved.
Yeah, like there were like the only thing that I really have to say about the Y Redux is like I feel like there were some parts of your verse from the original part. Like I don't know why I was just really connected with the ping pong bar.
What?
I don't know, bro.
No.
Bro, I just had a really strong connection to the ping pong bar. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
because do you deflect your words like playing ping pong, but in the end you act like you're strong?
I don't know why I had such a strong connection to it. So like when you got rid of it, I was like, "Oh no." What did he do?
Yeah, I don't know. Really, I really wanted to try living up to your verse a little more, like trying to match the energy in a way. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
because I
I
feel like my verse sounded out of place when you did your verse originally. So
yeah, I'm really proud of that verse still. Like even with time passing, I'm still really proud of that verse. But
about your verse, I like freaked out when you mentioned Finland. Because
why?
Finland is a relatively smaller country, right? I mean, of course we have very popular inventions, but no one really gives us the credit sometimes.
Yeah,
So
like
Finnish people, and this is not exclusive to me, Finnish people in general do go crazy when the country is mentioned in different types of media, like Die Hard. Because in Die Hard there was a part where they said Helsinki, Sweden, but then someone corrected them to say Finland, right? And that was like Helsinki. That actually saying that Helsinki is a part of Sweden is like a big insult, probably.
do Finland and Sweden have beef?
Not no. Well, no. We have like good relations, but basically every Nordic country hates Sweden. We all hate Sweden because I don't know what it is. Well, I would explain it, but it's very I don't know if it's not easy to explain. Really, it's just a thing with the Nordic countries.
So that kind of reminds me of a question that I want to ask you. Um, so with your Finnish roots, how do you think that has kind of affected the way you make music or the type of music that you make across your band lab career?
Oh, um, I don't know. I feel like it's mostly like the my pronunciation and stuff doesn't go well with traditional rap lyrics, so I have to write it in a way, I don't know, in a different way that sounds different. I don't know, because my way of pronouncing things while rapping, and while my flow might be great, it does sound different compared to other rappers. I
Yeah,
guess
I will
I
say that.
guess that.
So, like, that because you said for this new record, Blue and White, which is
Hmm.
coming out soon, by the way, uh,
Yeah.
that this is supposed to have a lot of Finnish influence, and because that's kind of like the whole concept around it. It's kind of like like a patriotic record, kind of
Yeah.
like a country record after 2001.
Maybe like I feel like my point is it's like my identity in an album. Like I like my fin like I'm gonna talk about the Finnish stuff. Then I'm gonna talk about my like my mental health, my thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, because
That's kind
you
of what I mean.
you posted a thing not too long ago talking about how you were going to have like blue and white tracks, and the blue tracks are going to be like the more personal stuff that might have been on Intervention if it was better kind of stuff, and
Yeah,
then the white tracks are like the more hype stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, you like recently said that was like in a new post that you did.
yeah. So yeah, in some cases it's gonna be like intervention if I made it now, like those blue tracks, but it's also gonna have some experimental production that would have never been on that album in general. Like so. I
Yeah.
mean, there's one track I can think of that actually sounds quite industrial and
Mm.
stuff.
So like what I'm seeing right now from what you've kind of put out about what blue and white is going to be, it kind of seems like it's going to be like a weird mix between Echo for Life and Intervention. As at least that's what it seems like it is for me.
Uh, I'd say it leans way more into Echo for Life, at least with the level of polish, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I do still think even now that I think that Echo for Life is your best project.
yeah, and I'm not arguing against that. I think I actually put it over Slammer 2 and Intervention. I put it over all my projects, even though it wasn't exactly like the project I put the most thought into. I think that it's just a. I think that it was just a test of like my skill now.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why I kind of like it, because it feels like you're not taking yourself too seriously, because that was like a big thing that was like on Intervention, like no beef, but like it felt like just a little bit too much seriousness, and Echo for Life kind of felt like a breather from that.
Yeah, to me, I think that I do best when I'm like not trying to be like super serious. I like to keep fun. I like I like having fun. When I have fun on my songs, I think that's what makes them the best.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like I do the same thing sometimes, not all the time, but uh yeah. So I also want to talk about some of the YouTube stuff that you did.
No.
Um
No,
I
why?
want to I wanted to talk about why you kind of switched over completely from doing YouTube stuff to doing music stuff. That, like, I'm not going to ask too much about the YouTube stuff. I just want to know about that, cuz
Well, I do have a good answer for why I stopped. I actually stopped with YouTube entirely now.
oh,
Um, where I'm not entirely, more like I'm not planning on doing anything with that channel.
yeah. Yeah, I get you.
YouTube isn't fun to me. It isn't fun to do because like you have to think of an idea, an entertaining video idea,
Yeah.
but then also there's a chance that that doesn't execute well when you're recording, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I get you.
then you have to edit the video, and I feel like that's much harder than engineering with music and stuff. I think like with music, you don't have to do things visually. You have to do things, audibly, which I think is much easier because I hate doing visuals like so much.
Yeah, I do see that being like a tougher thing to do. Like, cause with YouTube videos you're working on with sound and visuals and like music in the background, even maybe. And
Yeah.
like music, like you said, you're just working with audio. And I do see how that could be kind of stressful.
Yeah.
So you're really just saying that like the reason you switched out of it is just because you kind of lost what you really were a huge fan of at the beginning, and it
Yeah.
just got like tiring.
But admittedly, music has been always in the back of my mind the entire time while I was doing YouTube. I always thought that like I want to pursue this, but I've had many attempts over many years, even like to when I was 8. I was trying to make music at some points.
What
But-
was you, what kind of music were you making when you were 8?
I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Finnish type music, almost like or like in that lane, because I grew up with a lot of Finnish artists or
Yeah.
local artists in general, so that it would have been something similar to that possibly, because every time I have phases when I listen to music, I feel inspired to do that type of music.
Yeah. Like I had that weird thing where like there was like 2 months, or not even 2 months. It hasn't been 2 months. It's just like since Iceman dropped, I've been trying to make stuff like Iceman. Because I was
Why would
personally
you? Hey,
I was
mean,
personally a big fan of that record, personally.
Yeah. Well, I think if you tried to make Iceman, I think you'd do it better than Drake, probably because Drake really did not do. Okay, I have one thing to say. I am quite active on albumoftheyear.org. I saw your review for Iceman, and I'm not talking about your general rating. I'm talking about your usage of the term TS. You said I actually didn't hate TS record. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I saw your reply to it, bro. It bothered you so much. Bothered you so much. You have to be like, actually, P.S.
No, but because it sounds like you're saying this shit record. So yeah, no.
Does that not kind of work though?
No, because it sounds like you're calling the record shit.
Yeah, true. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I see you. But yeah, I didn't hate Iceman. I actually kind of liked Iceman. There's quite a few tracks on there that I'm aware back to and enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, like I just thought that it wasn't very nice, man. And personally, like there's some especially some. I'm greater than y'all. Some like I think it was like I'm greater than y'all. Some shredded cheese, I think, was one of the bars.
Oh yeah, like I think that's on Make Them Pay.
Oh yeah,
greater than y'all like shredded cheese.
I gave it a fair listen, and I actually like put things into notes whenever my live reactions to things, and I actually
you took notes on Iceman.
Yes, because I was told to really go into this with an open mind.
Yeah.
So I was doing this.
I already know that you're not the biggest Drake fan as it is. So
yeah, I think he's a very boring artist. If that's what you want me to say, I think he's boring.
I think that because like I think Drake has a lot of different sounds, and like I definitely was in that mindset at one point, but then like I found quite a few songs that I really did enjoy by Drake, mostly some of the more rapping ones like 8 a.m. in Charlotte or Money in the Grave and that stuff. And then after I listened to that, I listened to some of the other Drake stuff and I'm like, oh, this actually isn't that it is actually that bad. It's actually pretty good. So like it's like starting to vape. Like it's like starting to smoke. And then like once you smoke longer and longer, you're like, oh, this is actually pretty nice.
Okay, I'm saying this is a joke. You're adjusting to garbage. No, okay, that's a joke.
Nah.
But personally, I don't find Drake's singing voice that pleasing to my ears.
Well,
True.
I don't even like Drake's R&B. Like I honestly, in all honesty, I give Habibti like a 21 out of 100, and like Maid of Honor is a straight 0.
Yeah, well, Habibti is like a really bad one in his standards, you know.
Yeah, at least Maid of Honor was like laughable at some points, but like Habibti Habibti was just like, what are we doing anymore, man? You gotta stop making music like you're 21
Yeah.
still, and you gotta start making music like you're almost 40.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like we are getting a little off track
Yeah,
here.
a little off topic, but it's fine, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. We're having conversation.
Yeah, that's good. So, I also wanted to ask you about your connection with Metal V. Because you know, you guys have collaborated quite a bit within the past like year or like year and a half. And I want to know if there's anything else that we can expect with Metal V in the future, or maybe even something like bigger that could happen with Metal V.
Well, obviously, Metal V is a very awesome person to work with. I'd say
Yeah,
he's actually he's a very fast worker. I mean, like I'm surprised by how fast he pumps out projects sometimes.
yeah. Like he just put out a new record, didn't he?
I think so, but
Like
yeah,
he seems like he's trying to move away from like the trap sound, and he's trying to go more rage, which is something that I'm not a huge fan of. But like,
I low key really enjoy his rage stuff.
there was one rage song that he did not too long ago. I think it was called Perks. I think that was what it was called. That I really fuck with Perks.
Yeah.
I do really like that song. But yeah, with Metal V, is there anything that we can expect in the future with him?
I'm not trying to say too much, but I do think I do work with him. I do work with him, and I have worked with him this year.
So like anything for like Blue and White, or if you don't want to answer that question,
That I cannot say. That I cannot say.
Yeah,
Features are very much like undisclosed.
yeah, that's not something that you can really say right now, and I get that. You know, it's still really early in production.
Yeah, and I feel like what really makes a first reaction is surprise.
Yeah, I did that's why I did the thing for Mixtape Mercury where I didn't show the features for the first day, because you know.
Do you remember? I remember your comments to the features on like Echo for Life. You were like, you were excited to hear Malachi on Welcome.
Bro, Malachi's like honestly, I really do love Malachi's production, but like I think he's got to just get his flow down, and if he gets his flow down, then he could be legit like a top 5 BandLab rapper.
Yeah, but that Malachi production and feature did open up doors for more people to work with me, so I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, like it opens the doors for you to make songs with Huey Evergreen or Greens or even Ties Nitro or those people, and like all the people in the Nostalgic crew. But yeah, with Malachi, that got you like your second biggest song too, I think, right?
Yeah, that's my second biggest song, and I think that's also my highest praised song.
Do you think that song deserves that? Or is there anything you would like change about that song if you could?
It's not the first song I'd put to be my most popular on Echo for Life.
What would you put?
I would put What You Want or Dope Track.
Yeah, those two songs, bro, especially Dope Track. Like Dope Track, that was in my rotation for like 2 months, bro. That I love that track so much.
I would have paid to see a recorded reaction of Echo for Life. I would have paid money to see that. You might have to do it for Blue and White.
Well, I couldn't have done it because it was like 1 o'clock. I stayed up until like 1 o'clock. when
You stayed up that long for my my
bro,
projects.
I was waiting for it because I was really excited about it.
Yeah,
But like I listened to
you
Dope Track and I was like, whoa, no way.
I was I you know I didn't expect it to be this excited for Echo for Life. So
Bro, I was so hyped for Echo for Life because like I was like, okay, I because that I'm not a huge fan of Slammer. I am not big
yeah, I'm
on
aware.
Slammer, especially now. But like I was like, okay, I want something that comes from Echo on this, and I don't really want too much of my influence on there, and I want to see what he can do on his own. So,
Mm-hmm.
When Echo for Life came out and you pulled it off, I was like, yes! I was so excited, bro, because I wanted something to really work out, and it did.
Yeah, and I even I even did self-production on that shit.
Yeah, that's another one of the coolest parts about that record too, and that's what made me really want to listen to it. Is because you said you would do self-production, and you did
Funny
a
enough,
little
I
bit
said I'd
on
do
Slammer and
some
stuff.
self-production, but end up being
Yeah,
most of the tracks.
yeah. So like, I forgot what I was gonna say. um, so like, I was re-listening to a lot of your music for this interview, and
Yeah, I saw your profile.
you
I actually kept refreshing, and I saw you kept going to different songs from Intervention.
know, but I was listening to a lot of your music for this interview, and
Yeah.
I was re-listening to a little bit of Slammer, and I was listening Damn off of Slammer. And did you put like foreshadowing for Echo for Life in Damn? Because it sounds
In what
weird
way?
because you said something like too bad you won't get out till October or something, and Echo for Life came out in October.
No, it came out in November.
It came out in November. Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in October, but no, it came out in 20th of
Well, I
November.
guess I could still be, like foreshadowing. Was that intentional or no? Am I just tripping?
No, actually, you know what's actually the craziest thing? I was planning to release Echo for Life on my birthday originally,
Oh,
but that never happened because obviously it was not even close to being finished.
yeah. So I was just tripping on that.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, like that's cool pointing out, but that was not my intentions.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So, we're coming close to the 30-minute mark. So I think this is a good time to ask you about the Big J beef.
Oh,
So,
um,
I of course know a little bit more than, like the average listener because I was a little bit more involved. But
yeah.
I want to know more about like the reasons why you decided to do that, why just yeah, you know what I'm trying to ask you.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna say this before I go into anything. I am not gonna be continuing the beef, but don't
Yeah,
be surprised if
I
I.
never expected. I
But
would never
don't be
expect you
surprised if I talk shit here, okay? So, you want me? So my reasons.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Um. Yeah, I just didn't like his music, man. I that was my first thing, but then I looked further into his like BandLab account, and I saw that he was beefing with this guy called Glitch King, right?
Yeah, I don't think his name's Glitch King anymore. It's something
Yeah,
else, but
it's not Glitch King anymore, but it
it's like
was
Enemy 666 or something.
something like that. But what really pissed me off is that the way he handled the beef, like he was acting so confident, but then once like he got dissed, he was like, "Why are you picking on an autistic kid?" All that stuff, right? Right. See, you know
Yeah.
that playing the
Yeah,
victim,
you talk about that quite a bit in like the
and
actual tracks.
and I am also on the spectrum, so that pissed me off because why are you using this as an excuse to not beef when you were literally hyping up about dissing him back.
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah.
So, and honestly, I think that the song "I'm Better" is actually very half baked compared to every other song I made in the beef, of course.
Yeah.
But I think
Like,
that was a good spark, and it caught his attention. He
yeah,
said, "Bet,
I think
bet,
that was
keep
actually
that
good.
same energy. Let me borrow that same beat, and I'll kill your shit. I don't even use AI anymore."
I think I was the one who sent it to him actually.
Yeah.
I think I
Why?
sent
Why did he keep wanting the same beats?
I think he wanted the beats that you were using to maybe like compare himself to you and like a more uh even basis, I guess. Cause he's normally rapping on like Dax beats. So like I
I
think
did.
maybe he was just wanting the beats that you were having because like because he also said that he thought that you were winning because of my beats. So maybe it's just because of that. I
But
don't
then,
know.
but then every time he dropped and people said it was ass, he said that it's because of the beat and that he would do better next time. But then the next time he does the same excuse.
Yeah, and he would use the same beat. There was only one track that I remember him dropping that which is private now for some reason.
Yeah.
Um that actually had a good beat and like I haven't heard anything about Big J in like a year, dude.
You know, I sometimes go back to his account to see what the hell he's doing, and he's not gotten better.
Yeah, like and that was what he ended the beef on. He was just like, I'm gonna do better things now and like I'm gonna work to be better than you one day. And
And I was actually supportive of that idea.
yeah, you were like, okay, you do you. You try to figure out a way to make this a better situation for yourself and then send him off into the distance.
Do
And
you remember how long we like planned the Jimenez song?
yeah,
That was coordinated as shit.
yeah, because I remember because he was like in a break and he like just wasn't dropping for some reason and he's like, oh, don't wait, I'm gonna I'm gonna come back in January. I'm gonna come back in January.
Which he did.
And then and he did come back in January, but we were like, okay, we got to pre-plan this diss track. So we pre-planned the diss track. I pre-made all the beats, and then he finally came out with his response to "I'm Better" in January. And then we did a meet the grams on him, and we dropped it like 15 minutes after he did.
Yeah. I remember you were like, Big J dropped, drop him in this. No!
We gotta drop the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was getting ready to go sleep and shit. So like and
I
you know
had
what?
to,
You know
like,
what? The entire time I was not stressed at all during this beef. I was always so excited. I was just like kicking my feet. I was like really excited, bro.
it's like, oh my god, he dropped again. I get to make another track.
Yeah. I only responded after he made the third track. I was like, oh my god, can't this guy leave me alone?
Yeah, and then you made Finis or however you
Yeah.
say it, like,
Yeah,
and then
Finn is it's Latin.
oh,
It's Latin for the end.
hmm. That makes sense actually. That makes sense for the English thing, but whatever. That's um, but then you made Finis and you sent it out, and then he was like, and then like I didn't think that he was actually gonna accept the loss, but then he was like, okay, bro, I will admit you kind of beat the shit out of me. I'm gonna try to do better though. And then the
Yeah.
next thing you see on his profile is a cover of FAC.
Bro, my IRL friends made fun of that song so much, especially the first bar. He was like, "My baby walked in. She asked, 'Can I get a little dick?' And I said, 'Yes.'" Bro outed himself. You know, notice that he outed himself there.
Bro, I don't get like, and like, remember when we made Finish and I did the intro speech and I was talking about how he was gonna get dropped from his label. He did get dropped from Double O, bro.
Didn't he also get dropped from NAR?
He got dropped from NAR. He got dropped from Double O. He got dropped from what's the name of that? I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking for it, but there was another. Hold on.
And honestly, the Big J beef actually is the reason how I actually became more aware of that man.
Oh, he was also dropped from Young Sprint.
Oh, okay.
So he was dropped from like three labels from for I don't know, like 4 months.
Yeah.
That's not good numbers, man.
And
that's pretty bad numbers.
Yeah. In April, he reached out to me on Discord. No, not Discord. Oh my god. BandLab DMs. Yes. He I'm actually gonna read exactly what he typed. So typos and everything.
So this is after the beef, right?
Yeah, this is way after the beef. Hey bro, Sesame, we cool now. Trying to collab? I've gotten better.
What?
Then
move away from your mic because you're clipping.
Oh, he was like, hey bro, Sesame, we cool now. Trying to collab? I've gotten better.
He tried to collab with you after the beef?
Yes, he thought we were cool, man. He thought we were cool, and then I had to say, I never said we were cool. I just said the beef was over. Then he replied, okay, still want to make a song?
Bro, who is this
and
guy?
Then I ignored it for 4 days. Then 4 days later he said, let me know. And then I replied with, I feel like my message was already clear enough. And then he replied, what do you mean? And I said, if I say we're not cool, then we're not cool. Then he replied, okay, but why can't we make a song? I just want to be cool.
Oh my god.
And then I said, because I do, and then I replied, because I don't like the music you make, and I'm not a hypocrite. I wouldn't have wanted to collab with you even if we didn't have the beef, because I don't think you're worth working with. No means no. End of story.
No way, bro. What did he say after that?
And then he had the audacity to end the conversation with, okay, whatever, your loss, and okay, that's your opinion, though.
He ended the conversation with your loss? That
was his loss.
That is genuinely sad, man.
That was his loss.
Wow.
That's basically all that happened during the beef, though. That's all I can really say that I haven't said already.
That is nuts, man. I didn't know he hit you back after the beef, bro. That's nuts.
But he did.
Okay, so this is my last question that I have to ask you.
Okay.
So, because we're closing in on like 40 minutes, so
okay.
You talked about quite a bit in the Big J beef about your your kind of disdain for AI, and I want to just dive a little bit deeper into that. Just talk to me about your kind of relationship with AI and your just opinions on it.
AI itself, like if you take away the generative AI, I think that AI has its uses, especially medically and also in video games, of course. Yeah. I think that AI used as an assist tool in things that it really can benefit is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And music has been using AI for years, but not generative. We've been using auto-tune. That's also I'd say AI.
Yeah, I think that's a form of AI.
Yeah, it's a form of AI, not generative. But generative AI, my stance on it is that it should never be used commercially. It should never be used in art, like ironically. No, unironically, I mean.
Yeah, I do get that.
And I feel like AI shouldn't be used commercially either. You shouldn't be able to make money off of generating things with AI because it's something you haven't made. It's something a computer has been told to make, right? And you have basically no part in it other than telling them what to do.
Yeah, I do get that.
And I think that AI should be restricted to just like very um much smaller things.
Like what?
Maybe like, I mean, obviously you can ask some questions to AI. I don't have a problem with asking AI questions. You just got to make sure your the sources are right and that it is correct.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely use it for just small things like asking questions.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, in some, I actually need to think. You can, because sometimes, or I've seen people do this. You can like, if you have scores, right, and you want to add it up to one big score, you can ask AI to do that too, or
Yeah.
something.
I even have like personally, I even have problems with asking AI simple questions cuz like have you ever heard of like just AI databases, man? Like that's a
Hmm.
huge topic cuz like AI databases they're just horrible
Yeah,
for
and
everything.
I'm saying, and I'm not saying that I would rather use AI. I'd say I don't use AI at all. But if you're gonna use it for the smaller things.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
like
feel like that's yeah. I feel like
if
that's
I
the best way to use AI.
yeah, because like if I had a choice, I would not use AI at all. And in fact, even when like okay, my school has sometimes had some projects where you are allowed to use AI,
Yeah.
and I've always refused to use. I haven't used AI for any school projects ever.
Nice.
And that's not even because I'm like, oh, I'm not super anti AI. I'm not anything like that. It's just I don't want to. I just don't want to. It's just I don't see the point in not making your own school projects.
Yeah, because like if you're not making the school project, what's the point of even having the project?
Yeah.
Like it completely defeats the purpose.
There's one time where I was actually forced to use AI, so that's why I'm not counting it exactly. And that was one time where I wrote a quote unquote article, and they told me to put it into AI to check if I had any errors in it or something, which
Oh,
was stupid.
that's not horrible.
It's not
That's not
horrible, but I would have rather
horrible.
not. I would have rather
Yeah,
gotten comments from a real person.
yeah. I feel like that would be better. Like, because it just makes more sense. Like, why
Yeah.
use AI if you don't need to?
Yeah.
Because it devalues the person. It devalues an actual person.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's pretty
Mhm.
much all my questions for you. Uh, that's what I got. So
That's what you got. All right.
yeah, thank you for doing this interview with me. Thank you for listening, whoever is listening. And yeah,
Yeah.
I
Uh,